number of oscillations per second. Heart pumps the blood to the different body organs.
Both statements aren't true, it is always true.
How are you, Tswreis? I am your B.Anusha, studying 9th class from Palavancha, Khammam district. I think you are fine and very active to listen my lesson. Okay? Now I am doing one activity. Please follow me. Close your eyes. I also close my eyes. Can we see anything? Yes, we can't see anything. Now open your eyes. Yes, what you are seeing? Yes, you are seeing all the things which are present in front of you with the help of eyes. Eyes makes our life bright. If there is no eye, our life will be dark. So, eye is a very important thing in our life. Now, I am doing one activity. Please observe me. I closed my eyes and I take one object in front of me and I keep near my ears. I make sound. I hear it and I think it's an anklet sound. How can I say it's an anklet sound? Which organ help me? Yes, I am hearing with the help of my ears. And I take another object and I keep near my nose. I smell it. I think it's a flower. How can I say it's a flower? Which organ help me? Yes, I am smelling with the help of my nose. And I take another object. I keep in my mouth. I taste it. And I think it's a chocolate. How can I say it's a chocolate? Which organ help me? Yes, I am tasting with the help of my tongue. And I take another object. I scrape on my skin. I think it's a paper. How can I say it's a paper? Which organ help me? Yes, I am experiencing something with the help of my skin. And Tswreis, how can I identify all these things? Yes, with the help of sense organs. What are they? They are eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. These are the 5 sense organs that are present in our body. Here we can see the 5 sense organs. They are eyes, ears, tongue, skin and nose. These are the 5 sense organs and they help in sight, hearing, taste, touch and smell. These are the 5 sense organs that are present in our body. Scientists from ancient time have wondered about these 5 sense organs. Plato and Aristotle have mentioned about these 5 sense organs. Here we can see Aristotle. He is an Aristotle and he say about 5 sense organs. Who say about 5 sense organs? Aristotle. And Albertus Magnus. And Albertus Magnus, he was a bishop in a church in Italy. He mentioned the nerve for the first time in sensing of touch. Who mentioned the nerve for the first time? Albertus Magnus mentioned the nerve for the first time in sensing of touch. And Johannes Kepler. Johannes Kepler, he was a scientist who established the eye for the first time in 1600 AD. He established the eye for the first time in 1600 AD. Today I am going to say about eye. Eye is very important in our life. If there is no eye, our life will be in dark. Eye makes our life bright. Yes. Now I am going to say about external structure of the eye. What are these? Yes, these are eyebrows. And what are these? Yes, these are eyelashes. And what are these? Yes, these are eyelids. Why they are present in our eye? Why? Because they protect our eye from dust, microorganisms and sunlight. They protect our eye from dust, microorganisms and sunlight. Here we can see it is a beautiful eye, beautiful human eye. These are eyebrows, eyelids and eyelashes. They protect our eye from external environment. Here we are seeing blue color structure. It is called as iris, and because of the presence of iris, the eye get color. Because of the presence of iris, the eye get color. Can you see the cat in night? What is the color of the eye? Yes, it is blue in color. So it is called as iris. And what is the color of my eye? What is the color of my eye? Yes, they are in brown color. Why they are in brown color? Why? Because my iris are in brown color. So my eye get brown color. And the external structure of the eye which we are seeing is small, but the larger size is seen in the eye socket of the skull. The larger size is seen in the eye socket of the skull. Here we can see external structure of the eye. Here these are eyebrows and eyelids, eyelashes. They protect our eye from external environment. And here we are seeing blue color structure. It is called as iris. Because of the presence of iris, the eye get color. Here it is also external structure of the eye. These are eyebrows and these are upper eyelids and these are lower eyelids. The white color structure which we are seeing is called as sclera. The external structure of the eye which we are seeing is small, but the larger size is seen in the eye socket of the skull. Now, internal structure of the eye. Internal structure. The internal structure of the eye, here we can see in this, these are two eyeballs and without any eyelashes and eyebrows. In the center we can see the iris and in the center it is a pupil. These are blood vessels that are present in the eyeball. Internal structure of the eye. Do you know how many layers are present in the internal structure? I will say you now. There are three main layers. This internal structure of the eye is surrounded with three main layers. They are, the outer layer is called as sclerotic layer and the second layer is choroid layer and the third layer is retina. Internal structure of the eye is surrounded with three main layers. How many main layers? Three main layers. They are sclerotic layer, choroid layer and retina. Internal structure of the eye is surrounded with three main layers. The outer part is called as sclerotic layer, the second layer is choroid layer and the third layer is retina. First of all, we learn about what is sclerotic layer. The sclerotic layer is tough, fibrous and non-elastic. The sclerotic layer is tough, fibrous and non-elastic. This sclerotic layer bulge and form cornea in front of the eye. This sclerotic layer bulge and form cornea in front of the eye, and the end of this sclerotic layer connects with optic nerve. The end of this connects with the optic nerve. The sclerotic layer bulge and form cornea, and it is tough, fibrous, and end of this sclerotic layer connect with optic nerve. This is about sclerotic layer, and the second layer is choroid layer. The second layer is choroid layer. It is reddish black in color. It contains a lot of blood vessels which produce blood to our eye. This choroid layer contains a lot of blood vessels which produce blood to our eye, and this choroid layer produce iris. This choroid layer produce iris. Do you know, Tswreis? While issuing identity cards like Aadhaar, they take the photograph of your eye. Why they take? Why? Because the iris pattern are individual specific and they are using just as our fingerprints. So, they take the photograph of our eye, and the choroid layer produce iris. When it produces iris, it leaves some space called pupil. When it produces iris, it leaves some space called pupil. Behind the pupil, the lens are present. Behind the pupil, the lens are present. These lens are attached by ciliary muscles and suspensory ligaments. These ciliary muscles and suspensory ligaments focus the length of the lens. Focus the length of the lens. And what is the main function of these lens? The main function of these lens is to focus the image on the retina. Is to focus the image on the retina. And this lens makes the image upside down. This lens makes the image upside down. We can see in this biconvex lens. It is called as biconvex lens. When I see the image through this biconvex lens, the image is upside down. The image is upside down. The lens makes the image upside down. And these lens divide the eye into two chambers. These lens divide the eye into two chambers, aqueous chamber and vitreous chamber. Aqueous chamber is filled with jelly-like fluid and vitreous chamber is filled with jelly-like fluid. And the lens, what the lens do? Lens makes the image upside down. And the third layer is retina. The third layer is retina. Second layer is choroid layer. Produce iris. Produce iris. And lens are present in choroid layer. What's the lens do? Lens makes the image upside down. Upside down. This is about the second layer, choroid layer. And the third layer is, what is the third layer? The third layer is retina. Here we we can see the retina. It is the innermost part of the eye, and this retina is made up of two cells. This retina is made up of two cells. They are rod cells and cone cells. What is the shape of this structure? Is the shape of this structure is like a cone? Like a rod? Yes, the shape of this structure is like a rod. So we call it as rod cells. Nearly 125 millions of rod cells are present in retina. How many rod cells are present in retina? 125 millions of rod cells are present in retina, and the pigment of this rod cell is iodopsin. The pigment, what is the pigment of this rod cell? The pigment of this rod cell is rhodopsin. The retina is made up of rod cell, and 125 millions of rod cells are present in retina. Pigment, what is the pigment? The pigment is the pigment called rhodopsin. Rhodopsin. And this rod cell is to detect the low intensity of light at night. What is the function of rod cell? The rod cell detects the low intensity of light at night. Rod cell detect the low intensity of light at night. And what is the shape of this structure? Is the shape of this structure is like a cone? Yes, the shape of this structure is like a cone. So we call it as cone cells. Nearly 7 millions of cone cells are present in retina. How many millions? 7 millions. And this cone cell pigment is iodopsin. The pigment of this cone cell is iodopsin. This cone cell is specialized to detect the colors. We are sensing either yellow, blue, red, etc. with the help of this cone cell. And what is this another cell? Cone cell. Nearly 7 millions of cone cells are present in retina. And pigment called, what is the pigment? What is the pigment of cone cell? Called iodopsin. And what is the function of cone cell? The cone cell is specialized to detect colors. And in this retina, two spots are present. Here we can see two spots, blind spot and yellow spot. There is no vision in blind spot. The best vision is seen in yellow spot. It is also called as macula or fovea. It is also called as macula or fovea. What are the other names of yellow spot? The other names of yellow spot are macula or fovea. And this is about the internal structure of the eye. Here we can see optic nerve at the back of the eye. We have two eyes, so we have two optic nerves, and this optic nerve helps in transfer the image from the retina to the brain. This optic nerve helps in transfer the image from the retina to the brain. Here we can see internal structure of the eye. This is sclera, and the second layer is choroid layer, and the third layer is retina. Here we can see cornea, iris and lens. What the lens do? The lens makes the image upside down. And the First layer is sclera. Here we can see sclera. The sclera, commonly known as the white of the eye, is a tough, opaque tissue that serves as the eye's protective outer coat. And the second layer is choroid layer. The second layer is choroid layer. The choroid layer lies between the retina and the sclera. It is composed of layers of blood vessels that nourish the back of the eye. The third layer is retina. Retina is a very thin layer of tissue that lines the inner part of the eye, and it is the innermost layer of the eye. And the conjunctiva layer. The conjunctiva is a thin transparent tissue that covers the outer surface of the eye. And cornea. The cornea is a transparent dome-shaped window covering the front of the eye. It is a powerful refracting surface providing 2/3 of the eye's focusing power. Here we can see the lens. The purpose of the lens is to focus light onto the back of the eye. And optic nerve. Here we can see the optic nerve. The optic nerve transmits electrical impulses from the retina to the brain. Here we can see the internal structure of the eye. This is the internal structure of the eye. The outer part is called as sclerotic layer. It is also called as sclera. This sclerotic layer bulge and form cornea in front of the eye and the end of this sclerotic layer connects with optic nerve. The end of this sclerotic layer connects with optic nerve, and the second layer is choroid layer. The second layer is choroid layer. It is reddish black in color and it contains a lot of blood vessels which produce blood to our eye, and this choroid layer produce iris. These choroid layer produce iris. When it produces iris, it leaves some space called pupil. When it produces iris, it leaves some space called pupil, and behind the pupil, the lens are present. Behind the pupil, the lens are present. This lens makes the image upside down. This lens makes the image upside down, and this lens helps the image to focus on the retina. And the third layer is retina, and it is made up of how many cells? 2 cells, rod cells and cone cells. This is about internal structure of the eye. I think you can understand the internal structure of the eye. Now, functioning of the eye. Sakis, how our eye function? Now I will explain you. Close your eyes. Can you see anything? No, you can't see anything. Now open your eyes. What you are seeing? Yes, you are seeing all the things which are present in front of you. So, the eye works when there is light. The eye works when there is light. If there is no eye, our life will be in dark. The eye works when there is light. When you close your eyes, you can't see anything. Even you close your eyes. So, the eye works when there is light. When the light falls on the eye, the people who are present in front of us, not only people, the things which are present in front of us travel into different transparent layers. Travel into different transparent layers. What are the different transparent layers that are present in our eye? Yes, they are cornea, pupil, iris and lens. These are the different transparent layers that are present in our eye. Here we are seeing candle. We take it as an object. First the light falls on the cornea. First the light falls on the cornea. From there it refracts into pupil. From there it refracts into pupil. Here the iris are present. These iris allow more light when the environment is dark, and it allow less light when the environment is bright. And here from the pupil it travels into lens. What the lens do? Yes, the lens makes the image upside down, and this lens makes the image to focus on the retina. To focus on retina. When the image which is formed on the retina is smaller in size and upside down. Is smaller in size and upside down. The image from the retina reaches to the brain through optic nerve in the form of nerve impulses. The image from the retina reaches to the brain through optic nerve in the form of nerve impulses. The brain upright the image and we are seeing the object. The image from the retina, it reaches to brain. How it reaches? Now I will explain you. Here we are seeing the brain, it is the brain, and these are two eyes, two optic nerve, and it is called as optic chiasm. It is an object. Here we take an object as cube. First, the image from the retina travels to the brain through optic nerves. These optic nerves meet at the optic chiasm. These two optic nerves meet at the optic chiasm, and the half of the nerve from each side is divided in this optic chiasm. Half of the nerve from each side cross to another side. Half of the nerve from each side cross to another side. Thus, the right side of the brain receives the information through optic nerve for the left field, and the left side of the brain receives the information through optic nerve for the right field, and the middle of these two overlaps and helps in seeing the vision. Finally, eye and brain work together and helps in visualizing the things. Here we can see functioning of the eye. How our eye function? Yes, it is the external structure of the eye. It is an eyeball and it is longitudinal internal structure of the eye. Here we are seeing the internal structure of the eye. The light travels into different transparent layers. What are the different transparent layers? They are cornea, lens and retina. Here we take a candle as an object. First of all, the light falls on the cornea, and from there it refracts into pupil. Here we can see the light refracts into pupil, and from there it travels into lens. From there it travels into lens, and the lens makes the image to focus on the retina. The image which is focused on the retina is smaller in size and upside down. The image which is focused on the retina is smaller in size and upside down. Here we are seeing the optic nerve. This is an optic nerve. This is an optic nerve. The image from the retina reaches to the brain through optic nerve in the form of nerve impulses, and the brain apprises the image. The brain interprets the image orientation correctly. The shape of the eye keeps the things we see in focus. Different shapes of the eye affect vision. Actually, the normal vision is the lens makes the image to focus on the retina. It is called as focal point. But in nearsightedness, the lens makes the image to fall in front of the retina instead of falling focal point. It is difficult to see things which are far away. In nearsightedness, it can be corrected by using concave lens. This concave lens makes the image to fall on the retina. And in farsightedness, the lens makes the image to focus back of the retina. The lens makes the image to focus back of the retina, so it is Easy to see faraway objects. It can be corrected